Hawaii. You're watching Wake Up Today.
Well, new data from the Better Business Bureau is shedding light on a growing issue in Hawaii's real estate market. Not pricing, but customer experience. Complaints in the real estate sector have gone up over the past year, and the BBB says the patterns inside those complaints tell a deeper story. Better Business Bureau's Cameron Nakashima joins us now with what consumers need to know. Cameron, this is an interesting topic. Let's start with the data. So what is the BBB seeing right now here in Hawaii?
Yeah, certainly, Brian. So we're seeing a meaningful rise in real estate-related complaints, up 111% in the past 12 months here in Hawaii. And that's not just an isolated incident that we keep seeing. It's consistent concerns from customers. These are real complaints that they're filing across multiple companies. So this is a concerning pattern. Real estate is one of the most personal and high-risk transaction a person can make. I think most of us kind of realize that intuitively, but the complaint data is backing it up. And when communication breaks down and expectations are not clearly set, the impact of that can be both immediate and very emotional. And right now what we're seeing is about 69% of the complaints that are being put out there to these companies are rephrase that. Only about 69% of those complaints are reaching a resolution. And that means that we're seeing a meaningful gap still with many customers and renters not reaching a resolution and feeling ignored.
So, you're talking about the resolution. So if you can describe the experiences that people are sharing with the Better Business Bureau, what common trends are you guys seeing?
Absolutely. So more than half of these complaints, about 53% of them, point to poor customer service. About 24% of them talk about a lack of communication. So these are people who just simply cannot get a response when they need one. And then we're also seeing a lot of complaints that have to do with contracts and cancellations. So these are people who aren't fully understanding the nuances of their contract. Maybe these are questions that they can't get answered about their contract. And then they end up putting themselves in a situation where they cannot get out of these contracts. And when you really take a step back, you look at the broader picture here. I just gave a lot of numbers, but really all of them boil down to two common factors. And that is either a policy or maybe an employee acting in a way that does not prioritize the well-being of the client or the tenant. And this tells us that it's beyond just a pricing or supply issue, as you mentioned. Several of these have to do with service and accountability issues. And just to kind of give two specific examples, one of the very common trends that we're seeing would be property managers who are entering units early and removing people's belongings. And another one is repair requests, especially for something important like plumbing, going unanswered for months where they're completely ghosting the tenants.
Yeah, a lot of reviewers, a lot of people would be asking, so Cameron, where does the BBB get the data from, and what should our viewers take away from this?
Absolutely. So the data we're talking about, that comes directly from our verified customer complaints submitted to Better Business Bureau, and we take that first-party data very seriously. And so in addition to tracking just complaint volume, we also track the pattern, the response rate, and the outcome. So this gives us a unique real-time view into where businesses are falling short and where they can improve. And so from that, we work directly with businesses in the community when these things come up, and we try to help resolve complaints and raise those standards across the marketplace. So for businesses, the takeaway here is pretty simple. Better communication, stronger accountability, and a well-trained team. Those three things are going to really help set your team apart quickly, especially in this industry. And then for renters or property, people who are investing in property management, do your homework, right? And so that means ask questions, understand the contracts, and then look up those businesses on bbb.org. You can look at the reviews, the complaints, the ratings, find out how they respond when things go wrong. And that's a small step that you can do. And in the long run, that's going to save you a lot of time, money, and frustration.
All right, Cameron Nakashima. Seems like communication very key in this aspect of the real estate market. Mahalo, Cameron.
Absolutely. Mahalo.
All right, we'll see you next week. As always, make sure you check out bbb.org if you need more information. And coming up next, a quick check on morning traffic conditions. And just ahead, Brittany will have that full forecast. And today, another Honolulu headed our way.